So, I have an issue with ADHD, or to be more specific, what they call it. Because it's no longer an acronym, is it? It's become a brand, a label. I've got ADHD. You're definitely ADHD. But those letters, they mean things, right? Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. One question I have is, who gave permission to the linear brains to say that the creative, free-thinking brains are deficient and have a disorder? So have a think on this. And if you have ADHD, you should definitely listen to this. Bees dance. Now I know that's random, but bear with me. Bees have a dance. They call it the wiggle dance. And when they do this figure of 8 dance, it lets all the bees know where the flowers are, and it contains all the information like a sat nav. The distance to the flowers, how long it would take to get there and back, and even, apparently, how much energy will be spent going backwards and forwards to the flowers again and again and again. But science has discovered 20% of the bees don't dance. They couldn't give a crap about the wiggle dance. They go and sod off and do their own thing. And in good times, that might seem wasteful. They might be stupid or seen as radicals. But likewise, and I'll get to why in a second, if ever you've been having a cup of coffee and you look down, you see one ant scurrying around. You may not give it much thought, but we know that ants have massive colonies, and you've seen them on TV marching in lines. So why is that guy on his own? And you might be driving along the road and you see a solitary deer. But we know deers have herds. So why is he on his own? So let's get back to bees. And again, it is relevant. Bees are very easy to study because they've got box, there's a hive, and then there's another hive, and there's another hive. Science discovered that 20% of the bees do not give a flying fuck about the waggle dance. They just go and buzz around and do their own thing. But one day, when all the bees go to the meadow and they discover it's become a building site, and all the flowers, the bushes, the trees, the hedgerows are flattened, they come back, and it's the 20% that's discovered a garden that's been overgrown full of ivy and daisies and dandelions. And one of the other radical bees has discovered a small holding or allotments full of flowers and nectar and pollen. And one of the other radical bees has discovered wasteland. You see, bees survive because of that 20%, that radical free thinking. And science then has also discovered 20% of ants do their own thing. And then 6 large herds from Canada to Alaska, they discovered 20% of the deer go off and do their own thing. And they've now since discovered that even plants do it. 20% of the seeds don't germinate in case there's a long winter. So my point is this: we wouldn't have the Richard Bransons and the James Dysons were it not for the ADHD brain. When people said to James Dyson, look, people are okay with hoovers, they're okay with cheap crap things that aren't expensive. Nobody wants an engineered hoover, and they certainly don't want a transparent see-through chamber with all the crap collects, because nobody wants to see how dirty their house was. And he simply said, I do. I want to see the hoovers working. ADHD isn't a disorder. You aren't deficient. It's an inbuilt, nature-based survival mechanism. See, evolution doesn't make mistakes for millions and millions of years. So if you're spending all your time and all your money and all your effort trying to fix yourself, you cannot fix evolution. You are designed to think differently. You are designed to think out of the box. Stop thinking about how to fit in. Think about, isn't it great that you don't? You're evolved. You think differently. It really is a superpower. It's okay to not be one of the dancers. Go find amazing things. Cool, innit?